Good morning, Virgo. I am David with Tarot and Astrology for All, and I am here to bring you your monthly reading for this lunar cycle that began on the 28th, which I believe was, well, between yesterday and today. So I know I'm a little bit late, Virgo, but that's alright. It's alright. Things happen for a reason, and, you know, maybe it was necessary for you to hear this message at this time. So let's get right into it. I'll go ahead and say that. Well, okay, so look at that. I was gonna put it back into it, but you know, second thought told me pull it out again. All right, so I feel like you guys are gaining some kind of wisdom. It's a type of wisdom that comes from Lord Ganesh. If you guys are familiar with the Hindu tradition or belief system, I should say, and Ganesh, um, he's known as the bestower of wisdom, but he's also the the remover of obstacles. So I feel like a lot of you guys have been working hard. You guys have been coming to certain awarenesses, and look, if you see that red dot right there, that's considered his third eye. Third eye. If I said that wrong, sorry. My mouth is dry. 1 second. So with this card, I kind of get the feeling that some of you guys are spending long hours. I feel like some of you guys are trying to charge ahead forward, and that's why you guys are putting in a lot of work. And elephants, they put in a lot of work, right? They're known to be carrying people, they're known to be carrying supplies, etc., etc. So I feel like you guys have had a lot of weight on your back, and you guys are coming into a new awareness. But in a sense, it's there's a fire that's coming out of you now. There's a fire that's burning, and it's wanting to remove all the obstacles that are keeping you from attaining your success. So let's see, what else can we get? What else can you tell us, animal spirits? Ooh, yes. So you're definitely presenting with fire energy, and when it comes to fire ants, it's about the support system, but it's also about aggression. Fire ants can be pretty aggressive. Uh, I was just bitten by about 3 or 4 of them yesterday when I was doing my meditation downstairs, and not even, let's say, a minute later, I had 10 more on my leg. So these fire ants, they band together. They're a support system for each other, and I feel like maybe you're gaining this energy, this newfound fire from your support system. Or if you haven't yet, this is where you come into a new awareness through that support system. But this is interesting because when it comes to the elephant is very, very intelligent. Elephants are very, very intelligent, and fire ants, well, fire ants follow order, but there's rigidity to it. So I feel like some of you guys have a sense of rigidity to you, like you're not letting things go. And if we're talking about Virgo here, Virgo's an earth sign, so just like Taurus, just like us Capricorns, it's very, very hard for us to change. But the moment that we do change, nothing can stop us. And I do believe I said that for Capricorn, if I'm not mistaken, or for Taurus. Um, to follow your dreams, let nothing stop you. But I'm going to go ahead and go to the book now so that I can read what it says about the elephant and what it says about the fire ant. Okay, so the elephant is unstoppable, auspicious, and wise. The elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. Like Ganesh, the elephant represents immense wisdom and as well as good fortune. It is said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles. So if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured the path will become clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. Trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way with the light of self-knowledge. This all begins within yourself. This is a center point. This is you. I also feel like you're seeing yourself for the first time. You're coming into a newfound awareness, Virgo. To bring in balance, you just gotta trust the universe, trust the process, follow the orders of the universe, basically. Uh, the universe, it has your best interest in mind, and you can think of the universe as like the queen ant, so to speak. When it's in balance, it's one-pointed focus, it's generous, and it's loving. But when it's out of balance, it misunderstands fate. So we have those times where we question, why me? Why me? Well, when you come into the energy of the elephant, you don't question why. You just trust the process. Now, let's go to the fire ant. All right, and the fire ant is aggression, rigid thinking, and following orders. Fire ant flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire ant energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or situation, only making things worse because it acts as a poison. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you, Virgo. Solo time and walks at night is a way to balance it. This is a way for you to be able to cool off because when it's in balance, it's thoughtful and it's disciplined, just like a fire ant. Fire ants they work, 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 work. But when it's out of balance, it argues, it has excessive heat, and it gossips. So whenever you find yourself arguing, take a step back, try to see why this obstacle is in your way, and let the elephant guide you towards a better path. So with that, we now move on to the fairies. Wow, 6.5 minutes. I didn't think. Ooh, okay. So look at you guys have the vulture at the bottom, and the vulture is about the vulture is one of those misunderstood creatures. I've mentioned this before in a different video, but the energy of the vulture it's got its eye on something, and it's been sitting on something for a while. But the vulture is about purging. It's about releasing things. And when it comes to the vulture, let me just go ahead into the book. It's air, so this is about the mind, and this is definitely about the mind now. I can definitely feel that. All right, so we go to let's see the vulture. All right, vulture. Guardian and purifier, essential for balance. The vulture plays the most, is perhaps the most understood creature of all. This intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance is there. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. So, you know, you might think that these obstacles in your path are there to keep you from reaching your full potential, but the I feel like it's the elephant that's throwing these obstacles in your path to kind of guide you in the right direction. Because to bring it into balance, clean your space, uh, feng shui, and sage it. Saging is a very, very good way to remove the negative energy from a space, especially uh, especially before you start moving things around. Clear the energy and then move it, right? When it's in balance, it's clarified and it reveals wisdom, just like the elephant. So these two cards are synonymous with each other or when it's out of balance, it's dramatic and it's aggressive, just like the fire ant. So I feel like this is kind of like a mixture between the fire ant and elephant energy, but it's necessary for you to purify any. It's necessary to purify your space, but most importantly, purify your mind. With that, let's move on to the fairies. Let's see what the fairies have to say. What do you have to say, fairies? Pixies and all other creatures that exist around us. Himself. So return to yourself. And with himself, you know what? I'm gonna have to go back into the book because I only drew this once before, and I still haven't gone through the book in order to read. But let's see. It's about natural law, life force, magic, and shamanic power. So Known as himself, the Side is a guardian of both the hunter and the hunted. It finds no conflict in that because he understands the many necessary balances of nature. The living bond between all life himself is the breath that moves, the atom that dances, and his magic is pure in being, living, loving. Oengus, journeyman, and the master maker have the magic of doing, the creation of things. The bright mother has the magic of manifesting and nurturing, but himself, he has the magic of procreation, of dancing the spark of life into being. So when himself appears in the spread, and especially like he has right here, he's not only indicating that there's a great amount of energy present in the reading, but he's also strongly energizing the fairy cards around him. So let's see what else comes up. And I do feel like he's powering your ascension. He's powering your ability to charge forward, but also to be wise. To be wise in how you charge forward. So let's see. Himself. Oop. Oop. Oh, why are you fighting? Why are you fighting? Okay, fairies of the future. Huh. So everybody's looking towards the future, as you can see. I don't think there's any one thing that's looking towards the past. Oh well, yeah, there is one, two. There's about two of them. All right, and there's about two of them. There's one over here, and then where is it at? Okay, so there's two of them. There's this one right here that's looking backwards, and then there's this one that's looking backwards. So in a way, I feel kind of like you are looking backwards, but when it's talking about himself, it's talking about karmic stuff. It's talking about karmic patterns, and I feel that it's necessary to fill yourself with compassion because, with this is a quartz crystal, right? I mean, it's a rose quartz crystal, so it's kind of pinkish. And in a sense, I feel like with this being knocked over when the deck fell, oh, excuse me, when the deck fell, I think it's necessary for you to have compassion for yourself. But this compassion is the natural energy of the universe. It's you first have to have compassion for yourself before you can pass it on to others. So let's see. Go into the book real quick. 35 or 33 comes out to 6. So this deals with compassion, this deals with commitment, this deals with the earthly things. So let's see what the book has to say, because I have never drew this card before. Fairies of the future, be here now, guidance, moving forward. So the gnome of now at the top of the card looks both ways simultaneously. Huh, that's interesting. I'll go ahead and show you guys this card. He's this little creature right here. He's looking both ways. I don't know if you guys can tell. I don't have a good camera on my computer. But when you deal with the energy of the fairies of the future, these are the fairies of a bright future and are essential companions on any journey. When these fairies appear, it is time to consider where we have been and where we wish to go. There are many opportunities, many potentials, but we must choose a path and then take a realistic, practical steps to bring the desired future into being. So this is definitely about, staying committed to the path, but it's also about, maintaining that faith, looking towards a brighter future. But it all begins with yourself. See, it's one of those things that we can do by ourselves or those who share our goals and dreams. Of course, you can't expect everybody to share your goals and dreams. You have to move forward. The rar. See, so there is a lot of energy, and of course, this energy of the now is actually influenced by himself. It's amplified, and since you guys got the rar, this comes up to 7, and it's between the elephant and the fire ant. So, if you guys find yourself getting aggressive, step back and think, find out, why you're aggressive, or why you're aggressive, what's got you angry, what's got you stirred up. And this energy behind the 5 and the 2, it equals to 7. So it's about reflection, it's about thinking, it's about revision. What hasn't worked for you? What has? What can you do to change things so that they do work for you? Because remember, when we're talking about himself, we're talking about the number 17. So it's all about um, mastery of ourselves. Master ourselves, we master the universe around us. I don't know how many yogis have said that. I don't know how many um, other people out there have said that. Rich people, influential people, etc., etc. So let's go to 52 now, and I will go ahead and just read the description real quick. It's about pure energy, the raw. It's wild energy, and it's pure and it's potent. When it appears in a reading, it encourages you to be especially attentive to what you are doing with your energy and your intentions. See, this is all about coming to a new state of awareness, and I do feel like you guys are coming to a new state of awareness. So with the raw, this energy is boundless. It's infinite. All right. I want to draw just one more card because at this point I do believe that it's just going to start repeating itself. The Soul Shrinker, yep. Reflection. With the Soul Shrinker, it's one of those cards that it's about malice. It's about all of the bad things, the negative things that we say, that we do, that we push out. And this comes. Usually, it comes in a time of aggression. It comes in a time when we're fired up. It comes in a time when people have made us angry. People have pissed us off, etc., etc. And with the Soul Shrinker, all of that energy is just reflected back at you. And with the Soul Shrinker, it asks you um, to take a look at that because what you're putting out to the universe is exactly what's going to be reflected to you. But let's go into the Soul Shrinker to read real quick. Number 55 comes out to a 1, so it's about moving forward. But these the 2 5s mean changes. And with the Soul Shrinker, when you get this card in a reading, critical and malicious thoughts and words have been playing a detrimental effect on a situation and the people involved with it. Steps need to be taken to banish this cursed energy through love and compassion. What was I saying about compassion, guys? At this point, I knew it was going to start repeating itself. So the steps needed to be taken to banish this is through love and compassion, or at the very least through forgiveness and a refusal to accept the curse into oneself. When we let other people, control us with these with this malicious thoughts or these malicious words, we accept the curse unto ourselves. Understand the implications of this transformation, or of this, and transform the behavior and feelings involved. Understanding the implications of this and transforming the behavior and feelings involved is a major and often very difficult step in human spiritual development. I feel like a lot of you guys are developing spiritually. You're being awoken. Now, I want to go to 57 because this card right here, Luethus the Wild, was at the bottom of the deck. So this is what the energy is sitting upon. And it's about haste, impulsiveness, fire, spontaneity, balance. So once again, we go right onto the fire, right? But when you get this card, it's necessary to know that these wild creative energies are being brought to whatever position it represents in the card layout. Now, for here, it's connected to the Ra, which is about pure energy, right? And the Soul Shrinker, which is about this malicious energy that may flare up when we get angry, when we get aggressive. But it's asking us to chill, basically, relax, reflect. Luethus the Wild is one of those energies that energizes the whole deck, mainly because it's down at the bottom. So this is the influencing energy that's running in your guys' lives right now. New approaches are called for here. which is why the energy of the elephant has popped up, because it's necessary for you to step back and think. Now, the reflection, right? All these malicious thoughts, you're supposed to banish them. You're supposed to release them. You're supposed to purify them. And the only way that this kind of thing can be done is through the energy of you. I mean, it's you have the energy to do it, but the only way that you can banish this energy right here is through love, is through compassion. I highly suggest that you guys get rose quartz. I don't know if you guys can see it clearly, but it's pink, and this will help you definitely with. Let me see. Most popular stone employed for attracting and keeping love, compassion, and peace. Yeah. All right. So with that, now we move on to the Rider Tarot. Oh, well, we got a card falling out. Oh, all right. So when it comes to himself, it's all about happiness. You know, all Earth signs, to whatever degree, are chasing this happiness. But this happiness, it all begins with yourself. And this happiness is amplified by yourself. This card himself amplifies everything around it, right? So a bright outlook to the future, seeing the past and the present, you know, being in the now, also allowing you to have this kind of wisdom that allows you to break your barriers, and at the same time you have this pure energy here. So this is about your happiness, Virgo. I mean, I don't know what's more important than your happiness, but I do hope that this message goes across to you in a positive light. And I hope that as you look towards the future, that you can um, balance this energy, but manifest it into something like this. I mean, this is what you're looking for, right, Virgo? You're looking for completion. You're looking for stability. You're looking for abundance. You're looking for the ability to be able to grow old, to be able to like guide your children, but also to guide your grandchildren. You know, it's we all have these thoughts at the end of our bachelor lives. You know, once we get into a relationship, and I do feel that whatever it is, this relation, I feel like there's a relationship that you may have entered that's caused you to see the past, the present, and the future at the same time, and it's also caused you to take a look at some of the malicious thoughts or some of the malicious ideas that you may have had towards another person. Not specifically towards your specific other, but maybe your specific other is helping you to awaken in some kind of way. Or maybe some kind of friend is helping you to awaken in some kind of way. But Virgo, you guys are looking for happiness. You guys are looking for completion. It's not a surprise that it's necessary for Ganesh to come through to bestow wisdom upon you, but also to remove obstacles and place obstacles in other ways to guide you in the right direction. Yeah, this pure energy, it's about justice. Some of you guys may be dealing with the Libra. Some of you guys may be dealing with the Leo. Regardless of what you're dealing with, though, um, I feel like this justice is necessary. It's come in. And justice, you know, it sees both sides of the situation. It sits right in the middle of it. So with justice, I feel like this energy, this pure energy that's coming in, it's here to be able to deal justice to the whole situation that you guys are dealing with, not just one portion of it. But with justice, you know, it's the number 11, so it's about consciousness. It's about increasing consciousness. It's about increasing your wisdom. And you know, when you deal with this, you know, we're dealing not just with the third eye, but the crown chakra and the heart. This is a transformation of the heart, of the mind, and allowing you to connect to source. Of course, that decision is all up to you, but I do guarantee that when you're able to do this, you'll reach a sense you'll reach a sense of happiness. All right, so the Three of Pentacles came out, and when the Three of Pentacles comes out, especially under the Soul Shrinker, right? This could be a group dynamic that you're dealing with, and when it comes to this group dynamic, maybe there have been things that you've been saying, maybe there's been things that other people have been saying, and you know it. it may be necessary to reflect it back to them, the whole justice. Being able to see the past, present, and future, being able to see the whole entirety of the situation is a very, very unique skill. But it's not something that's just bestowed to everybody. You have to increase your consciousness in order to be able to sit in that space. So, with that, I want to go ahead and just drop. Oh, so another three. Look at that. So the reason why this justice is taking place is because, it's in a sense, it's necessary for you to start teaming up. It's necessary for you to start growing. It's necessary for you to start delegating your authority. For those of you in a position of power, for those of you who are in a position of management, it's necessary to delegate the instructions to others and not take on everything yourself. I feel like maybe you've been taking on a lot yourself, as I mentioned before, burdens at the beginning of this video. And although the Ten of Wands didn't come out, or any cards that indicate any type of burden, I do feel like this is more of a mental burden. It's not that much of a physical burden, and I do feel like maybe you've been placing certain burdens to. Let me rephrase it. I feel that certain burdens have been weighing on your mind, and this could be the reason why you've been spreading gossip, possibly, maybe having malicious thoughts towards certain people. And I feel it's necessary to kind of take a step back, take a look at what it is that you're trying to accomplish, what it is that you're trying to build, because you're trying to build something, not just happiness but completion, and you're trying to build completion, or you're trying to build teamwork that has justice built around it. So, and yeah, see, you're trying, you're trying to, you're trying to grow, you're trying to expand, and whatever it is that the situation is, it's only causing you to set yourself back. But to whatever extent, I do see that you guys are letting go of fears. You guys are letting go of doubts. You guys are letting go of all these things that, all these malicious thoughts, maybe malicious, maybe even self-malicious thoughts. A lot of times we don't think that we think maliciously towards ourselves, but we do. So with this, I do feel like you are headed toward. I do feel like you're headed towards something good in this lunar cycle, Virgo. You're gonna grow. There's definitely a lot of growth here. You guys have three threes. Look at that. You guys got three threes right here, and then with the pixie of the future, it's also three, three, and three. So three, 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 three. So you guys got five threes up in there. I was gonna throw out a cuss word. Sorry, guys. Um. So with this, this has a feeling of growth and expansion and completion and justice. So this is very good, Virgo. All right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and move on to your advice. I do feel like this requires strength, and we'll probably see this come up in the advice, but I do feel like you guys are requiring strength, and the universe is giving you that strength. But it's not a strength as in like aggressiveness. This is a strength through wisdom, and this is a strength through compassion and love. All right. Yes, this is the energy that we want to see. Yes. So very, very good, Virgo. I have very, very high expectations for you. I have the feeling that you're going to be on top. You're going to be the alpha wolf. I know there's a lot of you Virgos out there that are alpha wolves anyways. You guys are leaders of crowds and stuff like that. Not necessarily like crowds, but like whatever little group you've managed to work your way into. You're the wolf. You're the alpha. Everybody looks up to you. So it's necessary that as you go through this transition, that you help everybody else wake up. Help everybody else come into a different sense of consciousness, a different sense of awareness, and this will allow you to be able to um, step into your power and to be the leader. Now, you guys got the octopus, so in a sense, I do kind of feel like you guys are going to be reaching out for certain ideas, reaching out for certain things, reaching out for certain emotions, possibly that you can encompass while you go through this. Now, with the octopus, you may feel like you're in the dark a little bit, but it's not complete darkness. This is that darkness that lies above the head, right? This darkness right here, I feel that's where you're at, right? Because the octopus is a pretty intelligent creature. The octopus is a very flexible creature, but something that the octopus lacks is direction. And so I feel that whatever this energy is of the fire ant, the reason why it's flared up is because, there's no direction. So I feel like maybe it's necessary for you guys to get a mentor of some kind. And yeah, it's necessary for you guys to get a mentor of some kind. So let's go now to the fairies and see. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, the maiden. It's necessary to return to a childlike faith. A lot of the times we get stuck with a lot of the different things that are going on in our world, and of course, with all these changes, we tend to kind of get skeptical of a lot of different things. You, Virgo, probably have been skeptical about spirituality, intuition, stuff like that. But through the maiden, we learn that. Let me see. Through the maiden, we learn that it's about auspicious beginnings, birth, growth, joy, and hope. So, at this point, the advice to you is to let these things grow. The maiden, in and of itself, is kind of like a reminder of the Empress. So, for you guys to get this into your advice spread, it's necessary to grow. Let yourself grow. Don't hold yourself back. Don't let anybody hold you back. You know what? I'm probably gonna title this video that "Don't Let Anybody Hold You Back." Let's see. What else do you have as advice? Oh, speak your mind. Speak your mind, and don't let anybody tell you different. These changes that are going on is to make you more of that alpha wolf, right? And you might feel to some extent like you're floundering, but you have a lot of people looking up to you, Virgo. You have a lot of people looking up to you, and you want to set a good example for them. So it's necessary to speak your truth. Speak whatever it is that you have on your mind, whether it's spiritual or not. Like it's this is a clear indication that if you don't, you'll be reaching out or you'll be reaching around for something that'll fulfill you. But this is part of your destiny. It's part of your destiny to step into this wolf power and to communicate it, delegate these tasks. Um, Whenever I think about communication, I think about clarity. I think about uh, those fine lines of communication between people. But I do feel like it's the unspoken words, the body language, right? So, um, this wolf, he's not saying anything, but he's standing tall, right? I feel that's how you will be soon. And this body language is it's gonna express itself in a certain way. It's gonna be charming. It's gonna be admiring, so on and so forth. Ooh. Yes, yes, and another 11 too. Look at that, another 11. You guys are going through a transformation. Um, this has probably been a long time coming, but this transfiguration that's going on, it's necessary for you um, to step into it. Don't fight it. Let flow with it, and let the universe guide you. See, Laiste Moon's laughter is at the bottom of the deck for you guys. So the advice is laugh. Live life, laugh. Have fun. There's. I mean, don't be so serious. Nobody gets out of it alive. Well, except for a few people. The exceptions like Jesus, Buddha, and etc. But this is a call to laugh a little more. Just live. Don't try to control things too much. It's this rigidity that landed you in this position in the first place. So it's necessary to let go. Stop trying to reach for that control. All right, so it's necessary for you to take a look at what you've been working at, right? Take a look at all of the things that you've been trying to accomplish. Try to see which ones are the ones of value. And this requires reflection, as I said. The sevens are about reflection. It's just like the soul shrinker. It's necessary to see what it is that you're putting out and then see what else is getting reflected back to you. You might feel like you're floundering in the dark, but really this is your mind awakening. Let's see, what else do we have? All right. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune. Yes, let the Wheel of Fortune turn. The Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. That's another 10 card, so completion once more. And the advice is to, let this happen. Let the universe bring these situations into your life. Let the universe turn the wheel of fortune so that you guys can connect to not just a brand new life, because that's the advice. Move into a new space, move into a new life, move into growth and expansion. This is about your happiness. Yes. Some of you may be dealing with a Leo, or maybe some of you guys can gain some helpful advice from a Leo by talking to a Leo, etc. But I do feel like you guys are going to be entering into a space of happiness so long as you can communicate with other people. And this is about your happiness, guys. I mean, I don't know how many times the sun has to come out in order for me to let you guys know, but like I said, wow, this is very powerful. So the Ten of Swords popped out, and justice once more. This transfiguration is bringing justice to your life. Um, it's bringing justice in the form of waking up. It's bringing justice in the form of increasing your consciousness. And I find this very, very uplifting. I hope you find it uplifting too, Virgo. Oh, look at that. You guys got the Page of Wands at the top, at the bottom of the deck. This means good news is on the way, guys. This also means that your energy may be increasing. This also means that your passion may be increasing too, your ambition. This guy, he's in the desert, but he doesn't care. You know, he doesn't care. He's looking forward. He's not looking back. The pixies of the future, yeah, they were looking forward too. The guy in the middle, I feel like that's you. You're looking in both directions, like, well, I can't do that, but you're looking in both directions, trying to see what's going on and where you're going. But first, you have to ground yourself in the now in order to know where you're at in time, in order to be able to look both ways to see where you came from and where you're going, and that gives you a brighter clarity into the future. So, with that, Virgo, I hope this message resonated with you. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell at the bottom of the screen there next to the subscription button once you've pressed it. And also, I never mentioned this before, but if you would like to donate to the channel and allow me to do this on a more often basis, please feel free to do so. Your donations are appreciated, and they're not expected though. So if they come in, thank you very much. And also, for those of you who would like to see me live, please mention it down in the comments below so that you guys can get me on there live, and I can give you guys free mini readings and stuff like that. So, with that being said, I bid you guys a farewell. I bid you guys a good day, and I hope that Source can help you step into that full earthly Virgo power and step into that alpha wolf that we all know you are. So, with that, I bid you farewell. Have a great day. This is David with Tarot and Astrology for All, signing out.